Mm. Mm. Hey, Jonah. Reply to what? Sorry, I think maybe the OBS just didn't carry a question or something, if there was one. Let's check on the actual stream here, just 1 second. Your channel, check this, muted here. Oh, yeah, so it did nothing. Hey, Jason. Yeah, and of the way I'm rendering the rest. Oh yeah, it's just latex. Latex is basically one of those kind of reflective materials that like when it shines, so you're just kind of treating it the same way you would render a freaking, I don't know, a Christmas ornament. You just kind of imagine the room around it and consistently render that room all over the thing. Also, Jonah, I still don't know what I'm supposed to be replying to, because even YouTube doesn't have any comments before that. How am I dual streaming? I am using OBS. I'm paying a subscription to it so that I can dual stream. It's not really super expensive, so it's like, fuck it. Yeah, it gets a little annoying at times. Like I find it quite alright when I'm doing it for on YouTube and Twitch because they're very similar platforms generally. So my only pet peeve is that the program itself will sometimes just kind of forget to update messages, which is slightly annoying. Hey, pew pew. Oh. Everyone on Twitter or on Chaos today, what do I think? I don't know, I kinda left it. I moved on to Blue Sky. I'm on Instagram, so. But then again, I do have a history of fucking making a banger of an account and just going like, yeah, no, I'm out. Done that with DeviantArt on multiple accounts, so I have no problem doing it here. What is this? Which one? Alright, that's the one. I was wondering where it was. Yeah, there will be when I'm done with it. Right now it's just what's it called? A sort of silhouette of teeth more than actual. Alright, so this one. Mm. Mm. Thanks, Jason. I think by tomorrow this one's gonna be done, which is cool. It won't take me too long. Oh, thanks, Moira. There is no food. I'm just breeding. That would probably actually be my fan. Because I'm weird. Even when it's cold, I am feeling too hot. But it does make sense because I'm using a headset microphone. Because currently I don't have another option. But someday. Drink water, stay hydrated. Yeah. Considering how much coffee I drink, I really should drink more water. Mm. Mm. Thanks, oh, I like water. The water here in Squenza is insanely good, so I do have a water drinking habit. Shit down here is addictive. BRB. May as well go and drink some of that water. Alright, back. What's the next book that's going to release for me? It's Death Vigil 2. And then after that, Fine Print 3. Or the Queen and Woodburn one, depending which one gets finished sooner, but I'm guessing Fine Print 3. Fine Print 3 is gonna be the one where everybody at the end just starts screaming at me. It's gonna be so good. Hey Dante. Is there a reason why I chose the cold light versus warm light? Well, it's basically a matter of how I want to separate the planes. So one of the things right now that I'm contemplating, right? This is not a conscious choice right now, as in I have not made a choice, but the way I have it figured out is if I add some more pumpkins here, and maybe some candlesticks and stuff, I get a lot of warm light around. I have a cold light from behind, then I'm guessing like there's another window, like, from the other side you see that the cold light is coming from that could illuminate them. So I could kind of separate the planes into three major areas. So it's basically just kind of doing some math of, what's gonna make things pop the most. So I'm just right now kind of brainstorming. Plus, if I do a cold light on them, it makes them appear more vampiric also. So it's like there's a method to that madness, but it's kind of like, it's still madness that it's trying to kind of figure out its own way. Because basically the way I approach a painting is I generally very often don't even have an idea what I'm gonna draw, so I just kind of get into it. And then as I do it, I have this clearer and clearer vision of what I want to do with the painting. And at that point, uh, once I actually have an idea, I start basically environment building, light building, so that uh, it's like I start clicking on flipping switches and turning on more and more lights, building lights and shadows, just kind of refining the whole thing. But also them having a open window with draft, getting those curtains everywhere. It's like this is just a fire hazard waiting to happen. Yeah, like this approach allows me to maintain a sense of fun while I'm doing it. I don't get bored as fast. But here's the thing, it also comes with the risk of just fucking it up completely and just abandoning the picture at some point. So it's kind of one of those double-edged swords. This is why I don't necessarily always recommend my way of doing things to people, just because it's like, it's like it works for me, sure, but like I can't guarantee its effectiveness for everybody. No, no, it was gonna be latex from the get-go, just because, well, uh, sunstorm. So that's the joke, That's the whole point. Is like these people, especially these two, are basically running a company at some point that produces this stuff. So their whole shtick is, they're running a business where they design latex outfits and uh, BDSM furniture and stuff like that. So it makes sense. Wait, what? Why did I? We'll see. Because like I said, I'm still not determined whether or not I'm gonna just go with a simple cold towards warm contrast or cold warm cold contrast. It just basically depends. Because like if I have them warm as well, it gives the picture a very nice unifying mood look. So yeah, each one of them has its own benefits. Okay, so don't misunderstand textures for reflectivity. What I'm doing here is just basic reflectivity. It's like taking, a Christmas ornament and painting it. When you're painting a Christmas ornament, the ball that's very reflective, you're technically just painting a sphere that reflects the room around it. Same as with latex, right? It's like reflecting the room around it, so you can see the other window reflected here. There's like stuff around the room, stuff on the floor, and that's what's reflected in her outfit right now. That's the whole shtick. Is basically you paint the thing, you give it its own shading, you give it its highlights, and then you add reflections on top of all that, and there you go. Yeah. But then again, that's what painting is in the end. It's just a bunch of choices that you gotta make. That's what makes it fun. Making the choice, standing by it, and then regretting it later. That's the dream. Hey, Mikle. No, that is actually why you regret it, exactly. Because by the time you've made it, like, just give it some time. The moment your eyes rest from it, you're already figured out enough to the point where you can actually start seeing the mistakes. And this is the curse of an artist. Like, while everybody else sees pretty art, you're here like, motherfucker, I made a mess of this. Oh man, this angle. Oh man, that's the life. Make art, they say. It's gonna be fun, they say. And it is, to a degree. We wouldn't do it if we didn't love it. Is doing continuous commissions a good idea? Oh, here's the thing. It's technically whenever you're doing work for hire, you're doing commissions. So it's not really a strange way to go about it. Uh, One of the things that I always suggest is like try between commissions, try making some of your own stuff that you can then later make some prints out of stuff that you can profit off of in between. Like yeah, you need something that's more reliable than just constant gig economy of running one commission to another. Like it's a good idea, but shouldn't be your only one. You know what I mean? Like always try and plan for dry spells. Try and plan for times when there's just no clients. So while you're doing commissions, just make sure you make your presence known. Make your art seen, which is easier said than done, but unfortunately it's also necessary. And whether or not commissions burn people out depends on what kind of commissions you're taking. Like if you're taking commissions of stuff that you like to do, you tend to do fine, for a longer period of time. Burnout happens usually when you're just not feeling it, and yeah, of course, But here's the thing, though. This is one of my old advices that I still stand by. Before doing any kind of an art career, go and work a few months on a job that you actually just hate. Like just get yourself a job, experience working on something that fucking drains your soul. Just so that once you actually have your little moments of burnout, you can go like, my other option is that. So fuck that. I'm gonna burn through this burnout and fucking keep going. Saved my ass a bunch of times. Because, oh my god, I wasn't working on just one. I would work at 3 jobs at the same time, Like, I was one of those, freaking sitcom characters that would run from one job to another job to another job, It's just like, don't worry about it. I'm fine. But, the upside of all of that is that now, even when I'm not feeling super inspired and super motivated, I'm like, oh man, I just look back and was like, you know what? This is fine. This is all right. Well, wow, look at that! I found some inspiration under the couch. Awesome, let's go. It helps. Oh, welcome, Cedar. Yeah, the early days before I actually, freaking started working full time with the art, I would do basically anywhere from 1 to 3 jobs at the same time, and just do them well enough to the point where I could just steal some time and draw during the jobs, because that was the dream. And by the time I got my dream fulfilled, I wasn't gonna fucking let that thing fade away. I was gonna be like, I was gonna take that shit real fucking seriously. Like I am fucking super lucky. I'm living the dream of a dream. You know, I don't even work for just a company. I make my own stuff that I own, and you know, I'm my own boss in that, and just like holy shit. But yeah, trust me, that shit don't come easy. Like the level of commitment you need for that is kinda disgusting, but very achievable. You know, you just have to be ridiculously stubborn. How long did it take me to be able to draw block in correct proportions? I'm still fucking not all there, but I got to a usable degree of being able to draw without just jumping to a reference constantly. It took me about, let's say, just over a decade to be proficient. When I say a decade, I mean a decade of fucking hard practice. Because here's the thing, I wasn't talented. You know what I mean? Like when you see somebody young and you're like, oh my god, they're talented. It's like no, that one wasn't me. I was the other guy. I was the Rock Lee of the group. You know, I was the guy who fucking was like, I want to do the thing that they can, so I'm gonna put on these weights and fucking do stupid shit. And I did that. So until one day I dropped those weights. You know. Yeah, art is based. Listen, art is fucking. It's an incessant obsession with memorizing everything around you and then reproducing it. And it's a skill set that's basically you gotta be kind of disgustingly stubborn, you know. Oh, trust me, art is still kicking my ass, and I know how to art. Still, you know, I'll have days when I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, no, I know how to do this, right? Right? Goes to draw. Oh no. Oh, what is you doing, Stepan? Yeah, because turns out it's a whole bunch of fucking brain parts just sometimes misbehaving. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Like you can't set a time frame for your own advancement, because like this is one of those things where I will why I often tell people like, hey, you want to learn this stuff? Don't ask me. I'll tell you what I think, but like what I mean by that is like don't ask me alone. My techniques, my ways of doing things, they work for me. Uh, Today, you know, artists have fucking democratized the knowledge like crazy. There's so many tutorials about every fucking aspect of art out there. They're all on YouTube. Just type in, hey, how to do this, how to do that. You'll find it. But most importantly, you'll find different ways of doing that. And when you have different ways, you are very likely to find one that actually clicks for you. Because not everybody's gonna know how to explain a thing to you in a way that just works for you. but somebody might. Somebody probably will. And that's, how you advance. You find that person who has a way of explaining things for you. Then you go from there. You know. Because like I can't fucking teach people arts. Like, what's your method? You gotta feel the force, okay? There's a blank canvas, right? And then you just kind of Bob Ross your way through it. You just kind of go happy little accidents. Because yeah, it works, but it's easy for me to say that after fucking 20 plus years of doing this shit 6 to 8 hours a day. Yeah, now I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's easy. Come on. What's the problem? It's like, yeah, the problem is, well, I'm disconnected from the experience of a newly starting artist. So, I suck at teaching there. So, that's a problem. This is why I always warn people, like, if you're using my methods, stick to the way I build brushes. Stick to the logic of that. Stick to the, little tips and tricks. But as far as my method of work goes, try it out, see for yourself. Maybe your brain is also built like mine, and you work better to shapes and colors instead of lines. It's very likely. There's a high degree of possibility that might be the case for you as well. But there's also a high degree of possibility that it's not, and you're gonna stubborn your way through it and waste a lot of time working in a method that doesn't click for you. So, Mm, mm. Hey, Sector. And Evie, you are more than welcome to try. Like I said, it's one of those method doesn't really work well for everybody, depending on like what kind of a person you are. For instance, like there's an artist whose work I really love. Is really an excellent comic artist. His name is he goes by Incase on online. When you see him work, he is like the polar opposite of me. He is meticulously structuring everything. He is like doing like this perfectly just tidy line work, and it all clicks, and then he fills it in, and his results are amazing, and they're tidy and they're finished, and like I couldn't do that for the life of me. Like I would lose my mind just trying, because my brain doesn't work that way. My brain works literally the opposite way from his. Hey, Henke. Yeah, though the question is whether or not your line art is messy because you're still not used to it, or it's messy because you just don't work well through lines and are better for perhaps like you're more instinctive with shapes and other stuff. For me, that was the problem, you know. I can pull off a line art, like, but it's for me like it's like fucking pulling teeth. It's just my brain rebels every step of the way. Can I recommend some ways to learn to paint with my approach? No. Listen, my approach is literally this. Yeah, here's my approach. Okay, this is the magic behind it, right? Take a brush, make a fucking oval, you know, make a lighter color, start blocking in the main structures. You know, like there is no. This isn't something where like I've learned this from somebody. This is just me kind of fucking around and finding out. You know, this is the whole of the method. There is no trick to this one, unfortunately. Like there is no guidelines. There is no decent books that I've read that I can like. It's one of those things like I can recommend a book for anatomy, for facial expressions, all those things, because those I know that exist. Like, but this like this is just me fucking around and finding out, and by the end of it, I got competent enough to the point where I can just do it, and basically my method is sheer stubbornness and spite. It's just not perhaps the best method ever, but it gets results for me, and like this way I can get shit done. I can make anything and anyone I want, but it's not a it's like this is the very reason why I always say like this is not a method that I recommend to people, because basically in order to do this you kind of have to turn your brain off and just kind of do the thing, because like I've gotten to this impression. I've gotten this impression that there's like a data center of your brain, where your actual skills and knowledge and all of that shit and your memories are basically, stored. And you have that fucking conscious side of your brain that kind of, picks and chooses and does a whole lot of overthinking before, getting anything done. So what I do is I turn off that part of my brain, and then I just kind of, go and blob my way through a thing, And once I do that, yeah, it works for me. But again, very much not a. It's very much not a do as I do method, because there is no method, Do as I do method only works in this case if you actually know what you're doing, and that's the irony of it. Like it's a terrible way to go about it, but yeah, it still gets results when you actually know what you're doing. So yeah, that's the process. The whole secret behind it is just I used to call it attack the canvas, as in here's a blank canvas, fuck it up, show that thing who's the boss. And yeah, like I said, it works, but it works because I have a sculptor's brain and not a pencil artist brain. So like I said, for me, I think in shapes, I think in volumes, I think in illuminations, I think in materials. I think as a 3D rendering program at this point, and that's a problem to teach. I can't, I have nothing to recommend to people. I just kind of function that way at this point because that's how I've approached things ever since I was working like on like paper and like with acrylics, right? Because what I'm doing right now is very much the same method that I would approach working with acrylics. I would just kind of, blot out the main area and then just kind of build on that, And like that's the method. But in order to do that method, you kind of have to abandon the idea of that this has to look good, because for a while it won't. You know, for a while it's gonna look kind of like shit. But you commit to the method, and you know, over time, yeah, it's gonna look good. You know, you'll be able to make it look good. You know, but again, it's a thing of it's a thing of practice. It's a thing of stubbornness. You know, it's not a method that that's ever really gonna work for everybody. But if you master it, you know, there are benefits to it. It's like that. That's the whole shtick, right? You blob your way to victory. Well, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, if we share the same process code, that means that basically all you really need is just invested time. Um, like if you work in this way, you probably are a bit more sculptor minded. Uh, I like if you ever have the time to do it, if you ever have the capability to do it, my advice is research some 3D sculpting stuff like ZBrush. Uh, it's excellent for people who think through shapes and volumes, and also enables you to mess around with materials, enables you to explore things on a deeper level that you know, because like it's one of those things when you're learning how to paint and you're working from a reference, right? You're kind of just copying what you're seeing without truly understanding what you're seeing. It's kind of one of those things like if you draw a person like with a backlight, you know, like layer, you know, like let's say, you know, the photo has a guy and it's like, you know, it's like this, and then but then there's like this backlight here. Let me see. There we go. And like you're you're drawing this backlight, you're drawing, you know, you're painting it, you're copying it from a reference and all that, and then you're like, you know, you see this very specific kind of a shade of very intense kind of orangey red, you know, happening at places, and you just kind of copy it, right? You draw it, that's it. Like it looks good, it looks believable. Wow, it looks exactly like the reference, but you don't understand what this is, you know. Then you won't be able to correctly use it without a reference. But understanding what this is, all of a sudden makes you understand, oh, this is what it is, this is why it happens. This is called a subsurface scattering. It does a thing where it's like, you know, some materials are semi-translucent, and then you get to qualities of materials, which is something that one can really speed run with 3D. Because with 3D, you kind of have to get yourself educated in that. Otherwise, your stuff's never gonna look good. So you're kind of forced to do it, and that's the beauty of it. Like that, this is why I always kind of tend to recommend to people, like if you can, if you have a possibility of it, fucking go nuts. Learn some 3D sculpting, learn some rendering, invest a year, you know, of like treat it as a side thing where you're just kind of learning a thing on the side. And I promise you it's going to reflect on your rendering abilities and everything else, because you're going to understand the why of a thing instead of just the how, the what of a thing, you know. Yeah, I used way cheaper acrylics than that, but here's the trick. I used the wall painting ones, and wall painting ones are very kind of intensely covering. They're not glazing, you know. So if you commit to a paint, that paint's covering things, okay? So that helped. Like that's literally the process that I do now. Is like basically it's educated by that. It's informed by that. Okay, I don't need this. This was also. Now, what's in this layer? Oh, shit. She already had eyelashes. I knew I wasn't crazy. God damn it. Alright, fine. Is there anything else in this layer? So why did I never flatten that? Weird. Fuck it. Layer merge with the layer below. There we go. What's this? This is this. Oh, you're welcome. I'll just. Hey, Tiger. What was that, Tigger? Man, I've been watching too many freaking horror movie reviews recently, and just recently I saw the one for the freaking Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 or something like that, whatever the fuck. The second one. I was just like, yeah, wow. I still can't believe that there's literally people out there just going like, the copyright on this is gonna expire, and then I'll show them. I'll do my own character thing with hookers and blackjack this time. It's just, oh my god, fucking cringe. When did I last say? Who the fuck knows? Thankfully, this thing does have like its own auto-saving function, so I had a thing recently where it just froze up, but like turns out it wasn't because of the program, it was because of Windows. So I lost like, I thought I lost like fucking almost an hour of work. Nope, not with this thing. I started back up and it's just like, hey buddy, this is exactly where you left it off, right? And I'm like, son of a bitch, it is. It really is the most cynical thing. Like, it's just... it's never, hey, I want to create something incredible and memorable with these characters. Like, no, I'm gonna do this quick cash grab with it because, oh my god, see, I too can now own the IP. Neener, you know? And it's just like, wow. And this is why you're forever gonna be nothing. Like, just like, holy shit. It's like, great, you've created nothing of value. Amazing. Fucking hell. It's just one of those things I will never fucking understand. Because, like, there's nobody saying, like, you can't use those characters and create something good out of them. Sure, by all means, like, fucking... We've all been doing that for ages, you know. How many stories do you have about Dracula? And some of them are really fucking good. And they're not the original Bram Stoker's Dracula or whatever. No, was it Bram Stoker that wrote it? I think so, yeah. But, like, you know, there's good stories featuring the character. And then there's cynical shit. And, you know. Yeah, Dracula Untold was a really fucking shockingly interesting movie. Like, I did not expect that movie to slap that hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it because of the actor. What's his name? I forgot now. I really liked him in in Hobbit, right, where he was Bard. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll watch it because of that. Click. I'm like, I'm gonna draw while listening to the movie. That's not what happened, though. And then I'm fucking glued to the screen, and I'm like, holy shit, this movie unironically slaps. Like if somebody told me, like, there's a Dracula in a fucking Marvel universe, and we made a movie about him, and it's actually a good movie, I'd be like, yeah, no, that's the movie, right? It's really fucking good. And the freaking Master Vampire, oh my god, he was so goddamn creepy. I loved him. I'm always a massive fan of those like Nosferatu type vampires. Like, they were just creepy. Yeah, Luke Evans, thank you. He's actually really good. Like he was also extremely good. Like, he was for me the highlight of the Beauty and the Beast for Disney. Like him just being Gaston was just mwah. I don't think there is a dark universe. I know they tried for a dark universe, but yeah, no. Oh, thanks, Johan. Oh, wait, this is a chair. I'm like, why is nothing happening on the layer? Me working on a layer below. Nice. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I'm almost done with the stream here because I gotta shut my brain off because I got a lot of backgrounds to draw today. I gotta draw fucking 15 pages of backgrounds for fine print. Because tomorrow I'm hoping to have the new update ready, and it is larger than usual. Then after that I gotta do Crimson After Hours, and then after that I gotta crank out some Death Vigil this month still. Because next month I'm gonna compile all the Death Vigils and put those on Patreon again. Had to pause posting Death Vigil there because I was working through some narrative bridges, and it would just be confusing if I kept posting every one of those. Yeah, I'm tired of freaking superheroes at this point on. I'm not gonna lie. The last one I watched with any sense of joy was Wolverine Deadpool. And even that one's just because like I just really love Ryan Reynolds' take on Deadpool. Like, it was fucking hilarious. But beyond that, like I can't be bothered anymore. Like, I'm just tired. It's like I don't feel like doing homework for these movies anymore, you know? Because very often, more and more these days, these movies are like, oh, have you seen this show and these three movies and this tie-in to a cartoon? No? Oh, well, you're not gonna understand half of the things in this movie then. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, I'm kind of... like, I'm not into that commitment. I think we should see other movies. You're welcome, Jason. Yeah. Mm, mm, mm. I am gonna go and see Wicked when it comes out, though, because I'm very curious to see what they do with that one. Literally, that movie is gonna be made or broken by Ariana Grande for me. Like, whether or not she can pull off the enthusiasm of Galinda. That's it. Just if she can pull off the enthusiasm, we're good. If she can't, oh. Plus, Fiero is literally played by Grahatia, and I'm sorry, I'm a Final Fantasy player. It is the law. I have to abide by it. I have to go and see the movie. Yeah, it's kind of like the problem is these days. Like from one side, you get this kind of just unjustifiable level of praise on one side. You get just nothing but cynicism and hate culture on the other side because hatred gets clicks. And like in between, you go and see the movie, and you're just like, yeah, it's okay. That was my experience with Beetlejuice, right? I went to see that movie because I really wanted to enjoy myself. You know, I love the first one. I love Tim Burton's old stuff. I went to see it, and yeah, it was okay. It's most I can say about the movie. It's kind of disjointed, runs around for 2 hours, and there you go. There's an ending. No, it's fine. It's definitely no sin. I will say this: I don't regret going to see it, and that's honestly a win. Not a big win, but it is what it is. Oh, it doesn't matter how you see it. Like it's just okay. It's not like the movie kind of lingers on stuff for so long that you're just like, okay, can we? I was promised some Beetlejuice in this, you know. So it's just like I don't know. Is Beetlejuice 2 worth seeing just for Michael Keaton? I mean, it's worth seeing in general. Like, it's you're not gonna have a terrible time with it. Like, it's like, hey, are you bored? You want to see something that's gonna make you have a few laughs and just kind of, you know, amuse you for a while? That movie, like, you could do way worse than that movie. Not gonna lie. I don't really have any high praise for it because everything kind of feels very low stake, very kind of I don't know. It's just the movie kind of runs in place for a while. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah. It elaborates on the lore of the afterworld to a nice degree. It's it's like I said, it's fine. It's a fun movie. That's about it. It's not, but not like fun where I'm like, oh, you gotta see it fun. It's fun where it's like, have you seen all the realist good stuff that you wanted to see fun? Yeah, okay. Oh, here you go. Pop this in. I've never seen a movie that I wanted my money back for, but that's because I'm also a connoisseur of pure shit. So, you know, like I am, I'm an avid Twilight enjoyer. Okay, rewatching Twilight movies once a year is my own personal ritual. Not because they're good, but because they're such entertaining shit that's like, it's beautiful, you know? Like, you watch a movie and you're staring at it, you're like, wow, you've literally made every fucking wrong decision how to do this movie, and it's wonderful, and I love it, you know? So, I can appreciate schlock. But every time, just like my face when when Bella first enters the classroom and Edward looks like he's gonna vomit. And I'm just like, you had so many ways to tape this scene, and you really went like, okay, now the way I want you to play this, okay? Imagine a big old bowl of feces just under your face, just like you're just drowning in that sand, and go. Just like, wow. Y'all went there. Unbelievable. And yet I love those movies, you know. It's definitely it's basically my The Room, you know. Like there's people who love those movies. I love Twilight for that exact reason. Like it's just I stare at it aghast and go like, wow, this shit made a lot of money. It is a historical. It must be protected. Put that shit in the Library of Congress. Good times, good times. There is nothing to smack, Tooth. You're just a Philistine who doesn't understand fine art. Exactly. This is not how to do it. We can do better. Both of those things should be just written on the box. It's like it's kind of like you know, one of those what's it called when you read something, it's like it's a tale of warning, you know. It's like, yeah, this. See, Hank. Hey, Silver. Okay, let's see. Alright. Okay. Edit, Do I have a custom brush or the standard ones? This is generally just the brushes that the thing came with, and I have one custom brush that I've been using for this. It's my ambient occlusion brush from Photoshop. But yeah, 95% of everything is basically wash, brush, liquify, blend. All right. Okay, that's a nice amount of progress today. I think maybe even tomorrow I might actually finish it. Not bad. I think it's gonna be done during the Halloween month. Holy shit. Alright. Thank you everybody for being here. And I gotta go and do a raid in Destiny 2. Alright, cool. Thanks, dude.